Hi, welcome to Ned's Garden. We're out here in Amagansett, Long Island right now. It's late March, and we're going to do a little bit of intro to pruning on this tree we have here. Pruning can be a really daunting topic for some people, and so I want to give you a couple tips just to get started so that you can have some fun and prune some trees in your own garden. To get started, we have a couple tools. I have a pair of shears. This is probably going to be your best tool. I also have a lopper just for some kind of thicker branches if I need it, and I have a pull saw, which I'm going to use, if there's something that the loppers can't get through. And you can use anything you don't want, really. Just sharp tools are probably the easiest to use. So right here we have a little bit of a specimen tree. We're not even sure what it is. We call it an apple, but it doesn't make apples. Has nice blossoms in the spring. And we can see that someone has actually taken good care of this tree. We can see it has a nice trunk here and some nicely spaced branches. I can tell that someone has pruned this tree for years and given it some shape. Now, when we look up at the top, we can see that there's kind of a web of branches, and we haven't really done anything to it for the past couple of years, so there's just a lot of noise up here, and we're going to prune it so that we can get some space and kind of give it the nice shape that it has towards the middle and bottom half of the tree. So probably the number one question I get about pruning is, where do I start? People get concerned about hurting the tree, about mangling it, about giving it a shape that isn't quite right. I'm going to give you a place to start, but the first thing is pruning is helping the tree. You're not hurting the tree. The tree will reward you with an increased yield, whether it's more leaves, more flowers, more fruit. Trees like pruning. It's going to help them. So you're not hurting the tree. Have fun. What we're generally doing when we're pruning is we're just trying to bring space to the tree. So we can see again that there's really good space here. There's nice, a branch and then some space, and then a branch and some space. As we get to the part of the tree that hasn't been pruned in a while, we can see that there's a lot of joints where there are multiple branches coming out. And so these are a really good thing to attack first. Kind of coming over here, and you can come a little closer, we can see right here at this node right in here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stems coming off of it. And this is going to put a lot of stress on the plant right here, because each of these is going to get, more branches and leaves, and it's going to put weight on it, and it's going to hurt the tree. So the easiest thing to do is just pick the branch that's going in the direction that you want the plant to go, the tree to go, and cut all the others off. So I want the tree to move in an outward direction, and so I'm just going to, I like this one. And so I'm going to keep this one because it really goes out. It's not too near to the other branches, and I think, this will give a nice shape to the tree. Now you notice that it's not the thickest of the branches. There are other branches that are thicker, but that really doesn't matter. Wherever you lead the plant, and whatever stems and branches you leave will receive the resources, the water, the nutrients from the tree, and they'll become the thick ones. So don't feel that you have to stick with the parts of the tree that are already established and thick. Whatever you pick, that will become the dominant part of the tree. So really simply, I'm just going to cut off these branches right here. And just cut this one off too. And now this is where the plant's going to go. I want it to keep going out, so I have this nice little branch here. That's great. I can see it's going towards kind of the light away, and I've created some space here. The other kind of rule of thumb that I'm going to offer for pruning, where to start, what are the easy things to work on first, is try to avoid any branches that come across the center of the plant. So, we want this to go outward, it's moving away, and we don't want any sort of branches that cross over the middle or come back towards the center of the plant. So, really simply, I can see this right here. This is just a big branch that has been growing for years, and you can see it has a couple, it's a really solid branch, but it's cutting straight back across the middle. So I'm going to cut that off, and hopefully I can do it with these. and that, that's a pretty big branch right there, but you can see it just really opens up a lot of space in the middle of the plant. And there are tons of these. So, anything that's cutting back across the middle of the plant, you can just pull off using your shears, and it's just gonna create a lot of space. You can see already, I'm just really opening up the middle of this plant. So these are really the two techniques I'm gonna use moving forward. I'm just gonna, find branches that are overlapping, that are cutting across the middle, take those off, and then really look for branches where there are a lot of branches coming off of one small area, and I'm just going to pick one that supports kind of a finger shape moving outward, and just have fun. So again, just to recap the major points: the first one, you're not hurting the tree. Pruning is good for the tree. The second one is make space. So if there are areas in the tree that have multiple branches coming out, just pick one. Doesn't have to be the biggest. Whatever supports the shape you're looking for, and just stick with that one, cut off the others. And the third one is just kind of remove any branches that are cutting back across the middle of the tree or shading out any of the others. And have fun, and yeah, get out in the garden. Anyway, thanks for joining us. This is Ned's Garden. Ned, your host, and you can follow us on YouTube at Ned's Garden or on Instagram at Ned's Garden 69. Thanks.